What's good, everybody? We're back again. Big Ant Fantasy Football back here talking some ball today. We got me on stream today, and my brother Yash should be hopping in a couple minutes here. We're just going to be talking through this Week 14 slate today, talking through some of our fantasy favorite matchups, some of the best fantasy schedules rest of the season. We're going to rip some DFS drafts, answer all questions and just talking everything fantasy. Yeah, I'm excited to get into it. Appreciate y'all who checked this out. Apologize for the hiatus the last couple days. Been really feeling under the weather, so bear with me on any sick sounding voice or if I need to take a break. Still kind of recovering from that sickness, but we had to hop on stream today. Excited to get into this slate. That being said, let me pull up the schedule for this week and let me just kind of talk through some of my first thoughts in these games. So first off, we got a real fun game tomorrow night. We got the Cowboys taking on the Lions. Two teams that are kind of trending in the opposite directions as of right now. Lions have been struggling these last couple weeks. They just lost to the Packers on Thanksgiving. Haven't been playing super well. And the Cowboys, on the other hand, are winners of 3 straight. Ever since the trade deadline, they've been playing fantastic. Their last loss, I believe, was to the Arizona Cardinals, and since then they're undefeated. Defense looks much improved with Quinnen Williams. They've been very improved against the run in particularly, but they're still leaving some to be desired through the air. I think I'm going to be really big on JMO in this spot this week. I think I, once again, am on Gibbs receiving stuff as I was on Thanksgiving, but even more so now with the potential of Amon-Ra missing. I think we're going to see Gibbs get involved in the passing game, especially with how the Cowboys have improved against the ground. Those are just kind of my general thoughts on the Cowboys side of things. I really love this spot for both George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb. The Lions play a lot of man coverage, and we know that both Pickens and CeeDee Lamb can get there against man coverage. I think we could see a really big week from Dak. I would not be surprised at all. We look at the end of this one, it's a 300-yard, 3-touchdown day for Dak. Pickens goes for 100 and a tud. Lamb goes for 80 on 9 receptions, something like that. I think I'm going to be putting down some bets on this game for sure. The total is set super high, which just kind of tells you all you need to know, 54.5 for that game. Predictions wise, I think I'm going to still lean on the Lions at home, but I don't hate the Cowboys. Like we said, they're kind of trending in opposite directions as of right now. Detroit is a 3-point favorite on the opening market, but a trend with these Lions is they tend to bounce back very strongly after a loss in the Dan Campbell era. So something to look out for. We'll probably get more into that game tomorrow on stream, cook up some bets for that. But those are just kind of my general thoughts on that game. Let's talk about this next one, Seahawks Falcons. What's up, ATL? Good to see you in here, brother. Seahawks Falcons. I'm a little worried about this spot for Bijan Robinson and just this Falcons offense in general. It is nice that they is in Atlanta. That should fare well for them. But this Seahawks defense is one that I really hate to play people in fantasy going against them. I think the Seahawks win this game. I think they win it pretty handily. I think this could be a sneaky good spot for Kenneth Walker. I've been impressed by the recent usage for Kenneth Walker these last couple weeks. I really like how his receiving game work is trending up. Just last week, he was a ankle tackle away from scoring an 80-yard touchdown. Broke a run off to the left side, was almost like literally this close to breaking one off to the house. And if he ends up breaking that, scoring that touchdown, I'm sure we're talking about Kenneth Walker a little differently this week. So I am still bullish on Kenneth Walker the rest of the season. I know it hasn't been the prettiest up until this point for him, but I don't see why he can't have a nice rest of season, particularly the fantasy playoffs. According to ESPN, he has the 12th best running back schedule rest of season. And if we continue to see this increased workload in the receiving game for Walker, I think he can be an RB2 option the rest of the season. Falcons side of things, I'm playing Bijan Robinson just because you can't bench him. And that's about it. I guess I could be convinced with Kyle Pitts. I really like the usage he got last week, but like I said, the Seahawks defense is definitely one to be scared of. It looks like we got Yash in the flesh. What's up, my brother?
What's good, bro? Am I frozen?
Yes.
Oh, we're back though. We're back.
Oh, there you go. What up, Frizzle? Good to see you, my brother.
What's good, Frizzle?
I just was kind of talking through this week's matchups real quickly. I have a underdog draft queued up too, just waiting for that to fill before we get into that. I kind of already went through Cowboys Lions, but do you have any immediate thoughts on that game?
I mean, the Cowboys basically need to win out in order to make it to the playoffs, and I'm pretty sure the Lions are only at like a 30% playoff chance right now, right? So I think this is going to be a
It's
really
a
high
must-win game
stakes
for
game.
both sides. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it should be interesting. I would love to see both of them air it out. Is Amon-Ra going to be healthy this game?
So he's a game time decision. I did see that the Lions just ruled 4 guys out. I know Kirby Joseph is one of those guys. They just put Terry on
Big.
Arnold. So that's 2 starters in the secondary now. And they've already kind of been a secondary we wanted to exploit. So I think this could be a big time spot for George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb. Might explore some George Pickens ladder bets.
Yeah.
Let me see the exact names.
Maybe take Pickens yards, CB
Kirby Joseph, Khalif Raymond, Brock Wright, Shane Zylstra. So it's a lineman.
Brock Wright's
safety.
not going to play?
Yeah, Brock Wright was out last week too.
Crazy. Mm-hmm. Who do they even have at tight end now?
Frizzle, I think they're both going to pop. Who's the matchup that you have for Pickens? Who's showing for you?
For me or for Frizzle?
Frizzle. I'm just excited that the Lions play a lot of man coverage, and George Pickens has showed us that it doesn't really matter the corner. He's able to beat man coverage. You look at what he was doing against the Eagle and Quinyon Mitchell, who's one of a top corner in the NFL, and he was getting open on him. So I still love this spot for George Pickens. Like I said, I think he destroys man coverage. This has a big George Pickens game written all over it. And you know George Pickens loves to shout on primetime, man.
Mm-hmm.
Something about Pickens. I think it will be a good spot for CD too, though. Cash Money, what's up, brother? Good to see you, bro. He said, would y'all go J-Mo if Amon-Ra doesn't play or Nico Collins? Also, would you start Golfer Stafford this week? My other 2 wide receivers are Puka and Chase. J-Mo or Nico's tough. With what J-Mo's been giving us, it's really hard to put that guy on the bench, right? Nico doesn't have a great matchup either against the Chiefs, who have been pretty stout. I think I would lean J-Mo, as might sound crazy, but I don't know. What do you think? Even if Amon-Ra plays, I might still roll with J-Mo.
I would honestly lean Nico just because I'm kind of bullish on Houston as a whole. I think their O-line's playing slightly better. It's not great, but it's better than the beginning of the season. And I feel like the Chiefs, compared to last year, they're just not getting there in terms of the defensive line and pressure. Their defense isn't crazy to me. Yeah, they got some pretty solid corners, but Nico's one of them. I don't really pay too much mind as to who he's matched up against at corner, and I think we're gonna see either him or Jaden Higgins pop this week. I think Texans receiver will give you 15 plus points.
I would counter that with. Let me pull this up for you, Josh. So I know. So this is an interesting. I've been using this a little more. Nice tool on the Fantasy Footballers website that you can go through and you can filter like defensive ranks and how they rank on terms of fantasy points given up for each position. And what I also like about this is you can filter it to the last couple weeks. You can filter it to all games, just home games. And the way to read this, if I am correct, is that first means that you don't give anything up. So they do rank pretty positively on terms of like wide receiver fantasy points. Let me just double check that I'm right in saying that by pulling up the Cowboys, because if the Cowboys rank bad, then I know I'm right. Yes. Okay. So yeah, 32nd means that it's a good target for fantasy points. First means that they are really good against that position. So we look at the Chiefs defense. You look at their season overall, it's pretty middle of the pack, right? Quarterbacks, you can play them. Running backs, they're pretty good against. Wide receivers, also pretty good against, but not the best. Tight ends, also pretty good against. When we go to at home, this defense becomes even better. They are second best on terms of fantasy points given up to the wide receiver position, fourth best to running backs, fourth best to quarterbacks, and seventh best to tight ends. This is kind of why I would lean to Jameson Williams.
Is that more of a offense holding the ball kind of leaning thing, or is that actually we think their defense is good? Because if that's we think the offense can just hold the ball for the majority of the game, I don't think that's going to hold true against this Texans defense.
I think it's a scheme thing, and I think it's also just home Chiefs defense. Arrowhead's like a really tough place to play, right? It's really loud in there. We know this is Sunday night football game, playoff type environment. Like we know Arrowhead's going to be rocking, right? I think they have good players in the secondary. We know they got Trent McDuffie back there, who he tends to play the slot, so I don't know if he'll be on Nico for a lot of this game. But just I don't know. Kansas City tends to limit big plays. We know they like to heat up quarterbacks, send a lot of blitzes. Their pass rush hasn't been quite to the level they've been in these last couple years. But I don't know. I think JMO is just running so hot that you got to play JMO.
Yeah, I think you can't really be scared of that 0-point game, but Cash Money did just say he's projected by 40, so he just wants the higher floor.
All right. Frosty, no London at practice today. Yeah, not a good sign. I don't know how I feel. The Falcons don't really need to play London at this point in their season. The only reason I think that they will bring London back is if Raheem Morris is really scared about getting the boot and wants to try to win these last couple games. But even if he does play, this isn't a great matchup against Seattle, like I was saying. I might still be exploring taking London in some best ball drafts over this week just because he's way priced down because of that questionable tag, but not something I want to take a big stance on. That's what I'm saying, ATL. Frizzle, Terrion Arnold's out for the season, bro. He just got ruled out.
Really?
Yeah, he got put on IR. That's what I was saying about this Lions secondary, dude. It's beat up.
I was out for the week.
You saw what Christian Watson did to Amik Robertson this last week.
Yeah.
As a Raider fan, Amik Robertson, former Raider, you don't want Amik in too much man coverage. If George Pickens gets Amik Robertson on him, it's barbecue chicken out there, boys. I'm telling you. Frosty, who should be my QB for week 15? Dart Nix or Daniel if he plays? Do we know if Daniels is playing this week?
He's questionable right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm where are you at with the Jaden Daniels stuff? Like I really don't know how to read it, to be completely honest with y'all.
It's so interesting because you have like Joe Burrow, for instance. Let's take him. A losing team, basically eliminated from playoffs. I'm pretty sure they already are eliminated from playoffs. But he's still out there tossing up the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dan Quinn, as someone who watched that game, electric game, by the way, loved that game, is a very aggressive coach. and I wouldn't be surprised if he wants Jayden Daniels to come back, but I don't know, man. With how Mariota's been playing, like I don't really think they need to rush him back, right? Like, yeah, there's what 4 more games total left in the regular season. Like, is it worth putting your quarterback out there for 3 games he won't win, right? And you got other guys like Jackson Dart. Oh, I don't care if I get injured, man. It's not soccer. You're gonna get hit. Things are gonna happen, right? Like,
dude, you see that hit he took on Monday night?
yeah, it's stupid. I've been preaching it all year, bro, in my Jackson Dart hater takes, right? It's like, man, John Gruden said it in quarterback, whatever it was called. He's like, yo, man, like you're the only guy who can't play if you hurt your right shoulder. Like, it's not smart football.
I think I would lean Knicks based off matchups.
I would also lean Knicks. I think I'm starting Knicks this week.
Cash Money, my counter to your Thursday games or sketchy argument is that this isn't a typical Thursday game just because both of these teams played a week ago from Thursday on Thanksgiving. Neither of these teams are coming off a short week. They're having like a full week to prepare for these teams, right? It's going to be a normal game plan. It's not your typical 3 days of rest, go play a game, right? Both these teams just played on Thursday night. They have a full week to recover. I love the matchups against both. I don't think neither of these defenses are very good against the wide receiver position in particular. I think this could be a big spot for both these teams. I do agree that Nico's a safer play. But I just want to roll. I would roll with JMO if I was you, man, personally. Nico, I was just looking in one game against the Chiefs. He went for 7 receptions, 10 targets, 60 yards. So 7 for 60, 13 PPR points, which that's a nice floor. I could see a similar week for him this week, but I think it's more likely JMO gets you a 20 burger. Just to be completely honest. 20. Do what you want though, man. If your gut says Nico, go play Nico. Rest of the season, do you like Jaden Higgins over Keenan? I feel like he may get more targets.
That's a good question. I like that question actually.
I think I prefer Jaden Higgins.
I also think I do.
Yeah.
Like, what is Keenan really giving you as a ceiling? Like 5 targets a game? You're just praying for a touchdown? Like, that's what he's trending right now. I'm looking at his game log. He hasn't gotten over 5 targets since Jacksonville. And, like, what did he do with that 9.3 points? He's looking like a Cooper Kupp out there,
Ooh, looks like a draft just filled up for us. So we're going to rip a week 14 best ball draft. Haven't even talked about it on stream, but another top 5 finish in the hurry up this weekend. Hell yeah.
It's locked in.
We're going to rip another one, try to make some money, give y'all some good takes. Keep firing off any questions you guys got in the chat. Appreciate y'all that are in here. Drop a like, drop a sub, join the Discord. Sorry we've been gone these last couple days, been recovering from sickness. Bear with me on any breaks I may need to take or any coughs you hear. Still recovering, but feeling a lot better today for sure. ATL said he thinks Jaden wants out of Washington. Whoa.
That would be kind of crazy, but I mean, I think, would you be surprised if Justin Jefferson requests a trade?
I don't think he will. Just the
went from leading receiver in the NFL to getting 10 yards a game.
You know what I'll say?
Like, legacy is important, but I mean, this guy has the chance to end his career as one of the greatest receivers of all time. And if the Vikings can't surround him with a average quarterback to let him do that, because Sam Darnold, Kirk Cousins, Josh Dobbs, whoever that, like, let's take it that way, bro. He's played with like 5 different QBs, and he's still doing that. And like, none of them I would say are like exceptional, right? Sam Darnold's like above average, slightly.
I'll tell you what I'll say to that. The grass ain't always greener. The grass ain't always greener.
Talk through your pick right here.
I still think Kevin O'Connell is a good play caller. I think it would take another bad year for Jefferson to really want out. I think he runs it back next year at least. and they just hope JJ takes a step. They maybe bring in another quarterback like to give JJ some competition. We're gonna go James Cook.
Have you seen the free agency market for QBs
Oh,
this
it's
next
awful.
offseason?
It's like Marcus Mariota,
Zach Wilson,
Malik Willis,
Gardner Minshew.
Kyler, if he gets cut, could be a name. I doubt he would go to the Vikings though. That doesn't seem like a spot. I think we go Trey McBride.
That's something I'm doing in a Superflex Dynasty right now, guys. I have like 3 QBs rostered right now, and all of them are going to be free agents this next year. So if you guys want a little Superflex Dynasty insight, that's what I'm doing. Signed up for a 12-man best ball week 14 draft. Any tips?
I think Jaden ultimately will come back. Just I don't know if they're gonna rush him back, and even when he does come back, like I don't know how fantasy viable he's gonna be. Like I don't know. Quarterback's a tough position to play, right? When you've been sitting out for as long as he has, dealing with the injuries, like he hasn't been able to get into rhythm this year. I mean, look at what's happened to Lamar, man. He's been back for 4 games back now, and still kind of recovering from the injury. Still doesn't look like himself. Like even if Jaden does come back, like who's to say he's just gonna come back there and look like Jaden Daniels instantly? He could prove me wrong, but I don't know. I prefer to play it a little safer. I think he's fine to stash on your bench if you want.
And he's bro. He's injury prone.
12-man best ball draft week 14. 12-man format, I just think it's even more so important to push up tight end. I think that's your big space to separate. Tight end and running backs, I think you need to push up.
I appreciate it. Would you go Goff over Stafford because of the matchup? I could stack him with JMO or Stafford with Puka.
I think I'd still roll with Stafford. Stafford also has a nice matchup against the Cardinals. And I think as much as I do love this spot for JMO, with Noah Monra, no Laporta still, I think that does hurt Goff a little bit.
Mm-hmm. And you were hyping up the defense, right?
Yeah.
Or no, we were not hyping. We were hyping up the Chiefs defense. I always get my matchups confused.
Yeah. All right. Sitting on this next pick here, I really like the spot for Olave. He's going as the wide receiver 5, facing a Tampa Bay secondary that Tampa Bay is favored to win this game. New Orleans should be playing from behind. Olave is still the leading target getter in the offense. If you were watching this last week against the Dolphins, he should have had probably 10 more points. Had the potential game-winning touchdown go right through his hands. Give me Chris Olave. Love the matchup against the Bucs secondary that has been pretty bad to this point. Think it's a good spot. Olave was on my winning team from last week, so shout out to the boy. For my next pick here, let's go at Mecca. We're gonna buy the dip. Yeah, we're gonna buy the dip. Get a little game stack between Olave and him. I don't know. I am worried about Emeka, but as someone who was going on the 1-2 turn a couple weeks ago, like sometimes you just gotta buy the dip. Not a matchup I'm super scared of against the Saints.
What should I call it? Did you peep that he's like having the inverse of rookie seasons? Just started off extremely hot.
Yeah. I did see that. Though. It's weird. Mando, we'll probably be back tomorrow talking the Thursday night game a little more in depth, talking through some best bets. Friday TBD, but I would say likely.
Frosty, because no one wants that bum.
BTJ, do you think he gets traded this offseason?
Depends on what they do with Jacoby. Is he still under contract or is he going to be a free agent?
He's a free agent, but I think they bring him back. Like, you don't give up a 3rd-round pick for Jacoby Myers if you're not going to re-sign him, right?
I was watching some game analysis, and apparently BTJ was not starting in 2 receiver sets until Parker Washington got injured. I didn't actually watch the game, so I can't confirm that, but I did hear that in one of the people I like to listen to. So I just thought that was very interesting, especially since I hate BTJ. And they probably know that they're gonna have to give him a big contract, and I don't know if they can afford that with they have that one edge rusher, right, who's really good, the Jags.
Josh Allen.
Yeah. And then they also got Trevor Lawrence, like a top 6 paid QB in the league. Like, can they really afford to throw like 30 mil a year at BTJ? You know? So maybe from like a franchise perspective, they might. That would be interesting, dude. Like, I would love to see the Bills trade like a first round pick, like during the NFL draft for BTJ. That would be beautiful.
I would agree.
Speaking of the Bills, or are you about to pick? You're about to pick. Let's talk it through.
I'm liking Brees. I'm liking RJ Harvey. I wasn't super impressed by RJ Harvey, but Raiders can't tackle. We're going to get Brees. We're going to get Brees. Miami has been improved versus the run, but Brees Hall's usage has been better than ever these last couple weeks. 19 carries, 2 receiving, 2 receptions, got a goal line carry. Could be playing from behind. Offense looks more competent with Tyrod Taylor. And we're going to round it off with Jacoby Brissett to stack with Trey McBride. Also on my winning team from last week. So shout out to Unc Jacoby Brissett. We'll finish this one. Mando said start 1 running back, 1 flex. Monangai, Gainwell, Chris Rodriguez, Troy Franklin, or Alvin Kamara if he plays. Anyone but Kamara.
I'd probably lean Chris Rodriguez. Let me double check the matchup.
Let's go through the matchups. Let's go through
I'm personally forced to start Chris Rodriguez in a league this week.
We have Chris Rodriguez against the Vikings. We have Troy Franklin against the Raiders, who that is a nice spot for Troy Franklin. Raiders have awful slot corners. And Gainwell is against the Ravens.
Does the Troy Franklin usage scare you this week?
No.
Doesn't Pat Bryant emergence doesn't scare you? A little big boy for Sean P.
I just think Franklin's still going to begin the slot receiver usage. The
gimmies.
Yeah, I just think it was a weird game. I don't know how else to describe it. If I see another down week, then sure. We did see Franklin do well against the Raiders in their first matchup this year. I would go Franklin and probably Monangai, to be honest. Monangai's really impressed me these last couple weeks.
Yeah.
Not a great matchup against who they play.
You guys hear my dog, just know he's cold. I can't leave
the
him
Packers.
On the floor.
That's right. Yeah, I think I would still roll with Monangai even in the difficult matchup. So give me Monangai and Franklin. Did you see that today, Yosh? The Browns activated Deshaun Watson's 21-day practice window.
Deshaun Watson, please save us. Anything but starting Shedeur Sanders, bro. Franchise is such a joke.
All right. While we continue to answer these questions, I'm going to hop in another underdog draft. Ooh. They don't have the hurry up out for some reason. So I'm running the Engage 8 right now, which is a 8 entry max, $5 entry. A little bit of a different format, but still kind of the same thought process behind it.
I like Mando's question.
Queued up in that while we continue to answer these questions. Loud car driving by, my bad, y'all. Mando asks, pick 1, tight end, Evan Ingram or Darren Waller.
Ingram looked really good. Like, I don't know if you saw that pass he broke off for like 30 yards, man. He was running. Like, I was like, this man is like fast. He's 6'5", 240. He's running like that. Like, what are we doing?
I do gotta say that was like the matchup for Evan Ingram to smash. Like, I think that's probably the ceiling outcome for Ingram minus a touchdown. I don't know if you were watching that game, Yosh, but he had Bobby Wagner covering him on choice routes, which is just like, what are we doing, Commanders? Like, why are we scheming 40-year-old Bobby Wagner to cover
so sad.
a wide tight end who can actually like zig and zag. Like just an awful matchup. Not setting your guys up to succeed at all for Dan Quinn and the Commanders. Darren Waller, I was excited about him in the beginning of the season when he first kind of came off injury and was scoring touchdowns, but I've kind of cooled off on him a bit. I know he's back from injury. He's running the routes, but I do think that Greg Dulcich has now kind of emerged in this offense as another tight end to where they might kind of have an ugly split. And also because Waller's had to deal with so many injuries already, like, are the Dolphins really going to play him a bunch of snaps? Like, I don't know if I think that's the case. Both of these tight ends feel ugly. I think I might lean Ingram just because I think the schedule rest of the season's a little better too.
Yeah, and I'll piggyback on the Darren Waller bearishness. I've been tracking Greg Dulcich for dynasty reasons. I had him in both my leagues. I dropped him in one. But the split for tight end they seem to be doing, they have like this big tight end with the last name Hill. I don't even know his first name. And
Julian.
Yeah, he just like plays like 30 snaps a game. He's probably just like a run blocker type tight end, doesn't really get any receiving usage. And then Greg Dulcich got like 30 snaps receiving usage this last game. He basically split what he had with Darren Waller. Like, do you really want to start either of them? Like, they're both good for like what, 3 targets? Maybe all 3 of Darren Waller's come in the red zone, but how often are the Dolphins in the red zone? I know the Dolphins tend to smash against bad teams, but like, I don't know, Aaron Glenn, like Aaron Glenn kind of playing his balls off right now for some reason. I don't know why, but I'm not really high on Darren Waller anymore.
Agreed. Frosty asks, is the Rico Linsanity run over? He still got 18 carries last week, but Chuba got the juice. Now, this is one I was excited, also kind of dreading to talk about, just because, to be frank with you guys, I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do in Carolina. I think Chuba looks healthier. He looks more like the guy from last year now than he did when he was first coming back from the injury. And I did hear some Panthers beat writers were talking about this, that Hubbard said in interviews that he did feel like he came back from injury a little early before he was completely healthy, which I think that now at this point in the season, with how he looked last week, he looks more healthy. The Panthers are on bye week this week, so that's just another week for Chuba to continue to heal up. I know Rico also still got 18 carries last week, but that was just kind of a weird game where they got a bunch of offensive snaps. I don't think that is going to be the norm for Rico. I think it's going to be kind of a hot hand approach with this backfield, which is probably the worst case for fantasy just because we don't know which of these guys we're going to want to fire up each week. I think if I'm a Rico owner, I still feel okay. He's still going to be like a fine RB2. I just think now if you have a guy with a better matchup, you can play him over Rico and feel a little better about it. But it's also going to be the fantasy playoffs now for those Rico owners because he does have a bye this week. So I don't know, Josh, where are you at on this situation?
I'm pretty split. This morning I'm in a 10-man league and Chuba was sitting on waivers and I actually own Rico in that league. So I picked up Chuba, dropped Isaiah Pacheco. There's my take on the Chiefs running back situation for you. I also owned Kareem Hunt in that league. Chuba looks good. He looks fast. And you know, it's hard to tell what a team likes, right? When it's the hot hand approach, it's a coin flip, right? I don't like that, like Anthony said. With that said, I'll piggyback off of what Anthony said last week concerning Rico Dowdle contract incentives. Do they really need to lean on this guy and pay him an extra, like, what, 2-3 mil? When they got Chuba, who they're paying 50 mil already, coming back, getting designed wheel routes 2 weeks in a row, same exact play, actually breaks it off for a touchdown this week. Like, you're muted.
Very interesting. that they stop giving Rico the ball once these incentives get close.
And the touches they are giving him are what? Like tough runs?
I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but like Panthers, what are we doing? What are we doing?
It's valid, right? Like I think the Panthers would get more value off of just like, I don't even know, letting him walk in the off season, maybe trading him or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe just have him as a 1-2 punch with Chuba next year on a team friendly contract, right? But why would you have to pay an extra $2 million when you don't have to?
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Let's get on to this next question. First said, punt the wide receiver position and settle with Tesla, Jaden Higgins, AD Mitchell as my star wide receivers. Hey, better late than never. AD Mitch, baby, let's go. I got a victory lap that a little bit at least. Come on. We've been talking about him all year. Even when he was a Colt, one of my highest drafted players in Underdog this year. Finally gets there this week. I'm excited about AD Mitchell rest of the season. If he's sitting on your waiver wire, go and get him, dude.
I think he was probably a top ad this week.
Jaden Higgins also looking good. Isaac Tesla, if Amon-Ra doesn't play this week and Tesla doesn't do anything against the Cowboys, then I'll be out. But this is the week that this is going to be his big test. This should be the week that Tesla gets there, if he's ever going to get there.
You know what's so hilarious about this comment? If he started those three receivers last week, they're outscoring JSN, Justin Jefferson, and Emeka Egbuka, I believe.
Yeah, AD Mitchell on his own almost outscored all those guys. Olave's the move. Yeah, I like Olave's spot this week for sure. Tez Johnson, Frizzle, not to rain on your parade, but as big as I was on Tez Johnson, if you look at the snap rate since Chris Godwin has come back, it has not been good. I believe he played about 50% of snaps last week. You can't start a wide receiver only getting half the snaps, right? Mm-hmm. I think if it's saying Tez Johnson has a good matchup, that means Chris Godwin has a good matchup. Chris Godwin also dropped a touchdown too, by the way. And if he brought down with that, I think we'd be having a little more Chris Godwin conversations.
He looked fine. I mean, I wouldn't say he looked amazing.
He looked good. He looked good. He looked good. He looked like Chris Godwin. Like, he didn't look bad. Monunga is strong flex moving forward. Yeah, I mean, that's another one that I think it's tough, right? It's pretty similar to the Panthers. It's just the way I view it is this is a little bit more of a better offense that's a little more committed to the run game and that's a little stronger. I think Yash, Monunga or Rico Dowdle rest of the season?
Monunga, you know what you're getting. You're getting 50-50 split with DeAndre Swift drive by drive. With Rico, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. The Bears do have the 29th hardest running back schedule rest of the season, which is not great. But we just saw Monunga gets there against the Eagles, right? And the Eagles are also a tough run defense. So I also am just encouraged by the way Monunga looks. I'm probably more excited about him in Dynasty than I am rest of the season. I think that both him and Swift are kind of being a little undervalued, to be completely honest. But yeah, I feel good about him as a flex. I think you could definitely do worse than Monunga. It kind of just depends on the other names you're between. Yeah, dude, imagine BTJ on the Ravens.
Dude, put me and Anthony as the GM for the Falcons, bro. Turn around the franchise in 3 years. Maybe 2.
I just realized I didn't have the music on. Gonna put that on in the back. Let me know if it's too loud, chat. Just want to set a little nice vibe going on here.
Jason who?
Yeah, dude, he looked fast. Are you talking about Jason Taylor? Yeah, I knew that ATL. Yosh probably doesn't because
I don't know that.
His ball knowledge is recent.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't playing Madden like I was. All right,
I played until Madden 12, bro. Then after the Niners lost the Super Bowl and the championship twice in the span of 4 years in 2013, I just stopped watching football for 6 years. I just went into deep depression.
We're one spot away from filling this draft. If any of you guys in the chat want to hop in, this is the Engage 8 draft on Underdog. One spot away from filling. Going to try to take down this contest. Victory lapping. We finished top 5 in Underdog contests twice over the month of November. Pretty happy about that. A lot of drafts done on stream, a lot of process talked through. And we've been getting there. Still kind of early on this slate, but Josh, let me pull up the ADPs and let's see if anything sticks out to you. So, quarterback position, Josh Allen just clearly going ahead of everyone else with the 6.8 ADP against the Bengals. Do you think that is warranted?
No. It's easy to be sketched out about Josh Allen, right? I want to know. I wish I could understand the process for having him that much higher than all the other quarterbacks. Because honestly, I kind of like Joe Burrow more in that game. If I had to be honest, like who is Josh Allen throwing to? Okay, nobody. A bunch of bums off the street. Okay, Gabe Davis is their leading receiver in snaps right now with Tyrell Shavers, by the way.
Like Kincaid what are we getting? Be back this week.
That could be a smash spot for Kincaid. I don't know if that's going to apply to Allen. I think Allen's going to get you there probably 18 points. Like, I don't think it's going to be a 10-point game, right? 18, 22-point game from Allen is probably like guaranteed against a not so stout Cincinnati defense. But like, would I take him at the 6.8? No.
Yeah, I think it feels a little early. I think I really like the spot for James Cook.
That's what I'm thinking.
We just saw that the Bills have been very committed to running the ball, which I'm so scared because I'm playing James Cook in like a must-win fantasy game for me this week. Side note, took a L in week 13 because of RJ Harvey scoring an overtime touchdown, man, and I was just so tilting. Watching myself go from pretty much a guaranteed number 2 seed first round bye to now playing for my bye week life this week. Anyways,
the championship, crazy.
Talking about other quarterbacks, I like you said, I do like Burrow. I probably won't have much of Lamar this week. I think that's kind of an ugly game, to be honest. Baltimore, Pittsburgh. And with how Lamar's looked, like I don't want to full fade Lamar just because the week I do that is going to be the week that he goes for 40 points. But does feel a little pricey.
Just take his under, bro. He'll go for 50. 50
points. Stafford's interesting. Don't know if I'll have much Baker. Don't know if I'll have much Knicks either. Maybe a little bit mixed in. I love Brissett here, QB7. I think Brissett's going to have a nice performance. I also feel good about Trevor Lawrence, QB9. Jane Daniels also interesting, but I don't know if he'll play, so I don't know if I want to take that risk.
You think Jacoby's going to eat against that Rams defense?
It's a tough matchup, but he's going to get 40 pass attempts, and they're going to be playing from behind. So just volume-wise, like I think you can kind of pencil Jacoby Brissett into 20 points at this state.
Is he going to get 40 pass attempts, or is he only going to get 32 with Trey Benson potentially coming back?
No, they're not going to be able to run the ball. I also don't think Trey Benson is coming back.
I see that man projected like points every week on my IR slot just for not to play. It's so annoying. Ugh.
Yep. As of Wednesday practice, both Trey Benson and Marvin Harrison missed practice. So probably no Trey Benson again this week, if I had to guess. Seems like they will be without Marv again this week too.
Frosty, I just looked up, and thanks for the ball knowledge, Atlanta. Frosty, I just looked up Garrett Wilson, saw a Yahoo article from 20 minutes ago. Earliest he can play is week 15, and even then, like, are you feeling comfortable starting Garrett Wilson fresh off an injury, first round of playoffs?
Yeah, do the Jets just want to keep rolling with Mitchell and
see what they got, you know?
See what they got with Mitchell and Mechie. Oh, we're going to go JSN here, pick 104. Not a great spot against Atlanta, but JSN has shown that he can be pretty matchup proof. Funny to say that after he just went for sub 5 points, but I think that was just kind of an awful game script for him.
Wasn't the best game by Sam Darnold either.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. And I would love to stack it with Bijan. We kind of are just buying that game is a little more fantasy viable than we're expecting. Getting JSN past ADP, getting Bijan past ADP. Probably a pretty chalky start because this is a game stack, but we'll get unique with the last couple picks to make the build viable.
Oh, Saints running back update. Audric Estime was not the RB2. It was actually Evan Hull.
Yeah, I didn't even know Evan Hull was on the Saints, dude. I remember seeing him get a carry. I was like, what? Evan Hull?
I also picked him up this morning. I dropped Audric Estime for him. A little Twitter fantasy football darling from many moons ago. Always like to buy into guys like that if I have the roster space.
Kamani Vidal, dude, ended up coming to fruition. Make sure to fire off any questions you guys got in the chat. Drop a like, drop a sub, join our Discord. Always in there talking fantasy. Even without the streams the last week, we've still been active in the Discord, talking ball, answering questions. So make sure to hop in there if you're not already. 100% free, and it's a good time. Send some basketball slips in there for today too. So if you want to see those, make sure to join the Discord. We dropped some bangers. Got some early EV on some lines that got bumped in our favor. So we'd love to see that. Banged a slip too on Monday night, even though with how crappy that game script was. Glad we got out of it alive. Any games that or any other situations that we haven't gotten to, Yash, yet that you think are interesting to talk through?
Fantasy football, interesting.
Let's go, Bucky.
Let me look at all these teams, and I'll probably refresh my memory. You guys will probably enjoy some freak takes.
Why is Chase Brown this low this week, by the way? Like, why?
Against the Bills, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense to me either. Especially with 6 targets a game or whatever the hell he's getting.
Why is Derrick Henry against the Steelers going higher than Chase Brown against the Bills? That just feels wrong.
This is why you keep on getting top 10 placements, Anthony. Yes. These drafters don't know ball. Clearly, they're not tuning into the stream.
Yeah, we're going to keep clicking Chase Brown if we can. Nice. There we go. This feels like a good start. We got Bijan, Chase Brown, JSN Olave. Pretty chalky per ADPs. But now, what do we do at quarterback and tight end?
Speaking of Kamani, is Hampton playing this week?
It seems like Hampton is likely to play. Yes. I guess that's one that we could talk through. Like, how do we think this Chargers backfield is going to play out with Hampton back?
I think it's going to be like a 60-30.
You can see that.
Or 65-35 Hampton. But I don't think they give him like 80% of snaps like they used to, you know?
Get out of my brain, Atlanta. I was literally thinking of doing this Trevor Lawrence Strange build, but I think we might get sniped on Strange. So my backup plan is to go Kincaid. Whoa, we see Zach Ertz go. Interesting.
I like Brenton Strange a lot. I think he's a good tight end.
Yeah, he looks good. Jacoby Myers is... I like this spot for him, too, against the Colts with no Sauce Gardner now. Charvarius Ward still in that secondary, who's a name we need to keep in mind, but I doubt he's just going to shadow Jacoby Myers. I'm sure he would kind of mix on Myers and BTJ, if I had to guess. We'll see how that pans out. All right, just waiting for this pick to come around. Oh, look at that. We do get Strange. So we'll take Strange, and I'll round it off with T-Law, who Trevor Lawrence quietly been playing well. I know he just threw 3 picks against Arizona, and You can pretty much pencil in at least one pick every week for T-Law, but like I feel like he just looks a little more comfortable. There might be more eye test and like fantasy. I guess he's kind of been getting there. I feel like the Jags are playing some good football right now. I think Cohen is actually starting to kind of build something over there. I like Trevor Lawrence. I shouldn't say I like him, but
he's all right.
He's okay. QB9 on the week. Like, I'll take that. He's going to be low owned. Stack him with Strange. Got to get unique since we went chalky with the first 4 picks. I like ending a draft like this. We're going to hop into another one. Again, this is the Engage 8. We've already going to be halfway to maxing it. Josh,
I got to take.
Hold it down for a sec. I'll be right back.
All right. I'll share my crackhead take with you guys. Is Alec Pierce the receiver 1 in Indianapolis right now? Like, I know it's kind of crazy, but I think he's a free agent. Well, technically, he's up for a contract extension or a contract renewal after this season. Is he getting like a $20 million a year contract? Do we think he's like a better fantasy start than Michael Pittman right now? Like, I'm loving the Alec Pierce experience right now. He is giving me a ton of value. I'm pretty sure I picked him up off of waivers like week 1 just because I was like, I like drafted someone I hated. Like, I think I drafted like Amari Cooper, guys. So I'm not even going to lie. Panthers defense, week 15 or Bears? Let me see. Oh, week 15? Let me pull up that schedule, Frosty. Week 15, and me and Anthony should do a playoff stream soon. I think that would be very good. Let me see. Who do they play? Panthers play no one because I can't find their name. Why am I blind? Oh, they play the Saints, and then we got the Bears versus. I think the Bears defense looks really good, guys. With like a lot of their players coming back from injury, their offense isn't just turning over the ball 3 and out every time. Frosty, are you able to pick up another defense, or would you rock with this defense for the rest of playoffs? Because I don't hate the Saints offense. And they're going to be home week 15 against Carolina. Do I think the Saints are going to lose? Yeah. Do I think Tyler Shuck's going to throw 3 picks and get sacked 5 times? No. Do I think that Shedeur Sanders might with the Bears defense? Yeah.
Did you say you like the Saints offense? Just
you know how I feel about the Saints. But in terms of starting Panthers,
you're blinded.
Panthers D or Bears D week 15. I'm taking the Bears D against the Browns.
Yeah, give me the Bears.
Panthers versus Saints. I think it's just a better spot, and Bears are overall a better defense.
Bears defense is trending up too now that they're getting their secondary healthy. And they should have their linebackers coming back too.
No one answered my take in the chat, but I asked, is Alec Pierce receiver 1 in Indianapolis right now?
Ooh, that's an interesting one. Hey, I got a victory lap, another one. I said that in the Discord that Alec Pierce, sneaky good matchup against the Texans. Like, I could see him catching a deep pass. He's going to get one-on-one coverage. They called me a madman. Look at me now. Do we go Chase Allen?
Give me Chase.
We're going to go Chase one of these for sure. But
you could go like Chase Puka low key, Brett. Chase Puka, get Joe Burr, round 3.
Yeah, that's interesting. Let's do that. Josh Allen, though, like, I am going to have to get him at some point. Like, I know his ADP is expensive, but we can't full fade him against the Bengals, right?
We could see a 40-point game and a range of outcomes for sure.
Mm-hmm. I think it could be viable to start wide receiver, especially because there's some running back scrolls I like. We talked about liking Chase Brown, Breece Hall, RJ Harvey. Kyren, also interesting. I know he's been kind of seeing some snaps to Corum. And Devontae Adams is like the goal line wide receiver that steals his touchdowns. But who's to say he doesn't fall in the end zone twice? Like RB12 Kyron. 10 to 1 to buy that.
You sniped the guy behind you, by the way, because he took a long time taking Josh Allen. He did not want to take Josh Allen. Relax. Relax, puppy. He's 7 now, guys. He's so old. He needs to cuddle up to stay warm.
It is getting cold that time of year. We'll probably finish this draft, rip another one, and then get out of here. Appreciate y'all that hopped on the stream today.
Traded JCM Darnold for Jacoby Chubb. That's such a gross trade to make.
I think I remember when he made this trade, and I remember we were telling him like, "Yeah, get rid of JCM for Jacoby."
Yeah, just get rid of Bill. Ended up dropping Bill for Chris Rodriguez. That just felt weird today.
Crazy. We were drafting a third string running back on the Commanders in the, what was it like? Did he get to like
9th,
the 5th round? Dude, he got so high in underdog at the end of the year.
He went at like pick 90, I think.
It's so funny in underdog, like what happens as the offseason goes on. Like they just get bored, and then there's like a sexy name that like either a running back gets hurt in that backfield or like something to where that running back suddenly is like getting hyped up. It happened with Darrell Henderson. It happened with happened with Travion Henderson this year. I mean, I know he's had some good weeks, but like still, it happened with JCM
like round 6.
Nice. Okay, so we get Chase Brown. I feel good about stacking Chase Brown. We're going to go Breece Hall. And then I would love to finish this off with, dude, never mind. I just realized Burrow went already. Oh, that is tilting. That is tilting.
Screw that.
Well, I guess so now we got to pivot at tight end. I wanted to go Kincaid to get the little game stack. And then quarterback, maybe we can go Stafford if he's there.
Matty Staff.
If he comes to us. He is the QB3, so he might be gone. If Stafford,
you could just take unstacked Lamar, bro. You could just be like,
yeah, that could be viable if he's there. I took Brissett unstacked, and he won me money last week. There goes Stafford, by the way. Trevor Lawrence, I think, is viable to take unstacked. Just you're hoping he gets a rushing touchdown. I think Bo Nix maybe could be an unstacked option too. Yeah. I think Brissett's still how I would want to play it, especially if we have Puka. Get the little game stack. And Brissett's just like, I feel like at this point you just got to pencil him into 20 fantasy points. Dude, it was the week for the it was a week for just the like the big brain like wide receivers that the nerds have been hyping up for the last like 3 years. Like Dontavian Wicks, smashed. Jalen Coker, smashed. Adonai Mitchell, smashed. Like, what the hell was week 13, man? It was a wild week. It was a wild week in the NFL, dude. Sometimes you just sometimes fantasy is just, it's so weird, dude. Like, you can do all the research you want, and then there's just stuff like that that happens, and what can you do?
What happened to Xavier Legette? Why was he not getting anything?
Because he's not good.
Yeah, but they were rocking with them for majority of the season, so it's just weird to see them switch up all of a sudden.
We finish off Brissett, Kincaid. I like this build. We go Brissett, Chase Brown, Breece Hall, Jamar Chase, Puka, Dalton Kincaid. Nice team.
Wait, who'd you end up getting at QB?
Brissett.
I want to look into this Coker.
You know what's interesting, Josh? Some game theory stuff is that both the teams that I've won with in this contest were both unstacked quarterbacks.
I don't think that stacking quarterback is like essential depending on the quarterback.
I agree that it's not essential. I think you still need to do it just because if the QB1 and wide receiver 1 on the week are stacked, right? Like, let's see Joe Burrow just throws for 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. Ja'Marr Chase goes for 250 and 2 touchdowns. Like, you need Joe Burrow and Ja'Marr Chase to win in a case like that, right? And I think that is viable to happen, but I think that you don't necessarily want to force stacks with like lower end quarterbacks, you know? Like if you get sniped on the big boy QBs, like why are you forcing I don't know, let's look at some names. Why are you forcing
Bryce Young Ted stack?
Yeah, why are you forcing Sam Darnold stacked with your JSN? Like why don't you just get Joe Burrow a JSN? Like I know you're limiting your variables when you stack, but I think in these best ball formats, they're so common that sometimes it's better to not stack. Like you get uniqueness. You do limit your ceiling a bit, but you also raise your floor, I would say, when you stack. When you don't stack, I said that reverse.
Atlanta, that actually sucks. I've been there.
That is the worst.
Justin Jefferson with 4 and Jalen Coker and Devon Vele with 20 on my bench. Stupid.
Dude, I saw this one. I don't know if it was the team that took it down, but a team did very good in Battle Royale this week that had a AD Mitchell, Tyrod Taylor stack that both like 0.5% owned. And they like almost, I think they might have won the contest with that stack. And I was just like, I saw it on Twitter and I was like, dude, are you kidding me? Like, am I doing this wrong? Do I need to be forcing the... I would talk about stacks not always being viable, but shoot, sometimes it is.
Sometimes I'm anti-stack, just with like how popular it is now. I feel like in it of itself, you're limiting your own upside because who's not going to have a Jamar Burrow stack? Who's going to have a Jamar Lamar stack?
Mm-hmm. While we're waiting for this one to fill, let's look at some of our best ball teams. Let's look at these last couple weeks and let's look at if these teams are stacked or not.
Atlanta defense wins championships, dude.
Okay. Also, a funny side note, the 2 weeks that we've won big on the hurry up were weeks I did like the least amount of drafts. 10 drafts this week, bring up 500, only 700 the week we won big. And then we like kind of went crazy the weeks after we won and didn't end up winning big. I don't know if I think that's just pure luck. It's not anything to like really have a major takeaway from, but just kind of interesting. So yeah, this is the team that we won with: Jacoby Brissett, Devon Achane, Bucky Irving, Davante Adams, Chris Olave, Brock Bowers. So we have Bucky game stacked with Brissett, Achane game stacked with Olave, and then we just had solo Davante Adams, solo Brock Bowers, which just kind of worked out that those were the guys you needed. If we had Kimani Vidal instead of Bucky Irving, we would have probably took this home. Yeah, the Bucky Irving at 18%. We didn't really get to talk about it on stream last week, but that was just clearly an obvious smash, right? Like, I know there was speculation that he was going to split touches, but against a weak Cardinals team like Bucky Irving, the talent, anytime you could get a talent like that, sub 50% owned, much less 20% owned in a contest, like, you got to take the shot. He was even close. He was closer to having an even bigger week too. He got a touchdown called back. Otherwise, he would have had a over 20-point performance. Let's look at the team that won. Trevor Lawrence, CMC, Kimani Vidal, Davante Adams, Nico, Brock Bowers. See, unstacked team here. Kimani Vidal at 38% was the big piece that brought this home for this guy. Another crazy thing to think about is that Bijan Robinson went for 30 points, and he wasn't even on the team that won it all this week. So that's another thing to keep in mind. I think it's just because the way ADPs were working out, because the Bijan was going on the 1-2 turn, and no one else on the 1-2 turn really smashed besides Bijan. So I think that's kind of why the tournament played out in the way it did. Let's see. I guess, okay, the second place team had Bijan. So, and they also had a 9-point Marvin Harrison.
Crazy.
Yeah. This team had a stack. I think Brock Bowers is on like all the top teams because he did separate at tight end. He was kind of the guy you needed this week. Where are we at Brock Bowers rest of the season with the new offensive coordinator? I did shout that I thought that was going to help his case. That was kind of why I was drafting him this week. And he had one of his better games of the season.
I don't even know if it's worth having that conversation about Brock Bowers because realistically, if you have Brock Bowers, you're starting him every week. Like, you can't trade him. Like, you really just have to ride or die with him. Like, unless you maybe have, like, an Oronde Gadsden or a waiver wire warrior on your bench, like Brenton Strange or something, then it might be matchup dependent. But even then, you got to rock with the upside of him being the receiver one in Las Vegas.
Josh, side note, look at how BTJ did me dirty on this other team.
You should have just known better, bro.
This is my second best team. I forced the Trevor Lawrence BTJ stack. If I had known Jacoby Myers was the wide receiver one going into this week.
Can you pull up your draft board from it?
I don't think I can.
That's stupid.
I know. I could probably tell you how it went, though. I think I went A-Chain. Oh, wait, no, that's my winning team.
I just want to know who you
I went
picked,
A-Chain,
over.
Nico, Bowers, Kyron, Trevor, BTJ last. I can look at some other teams that finished good. Adonai Mitchell is who I took BTJ over. 5th place team at Adonai Mitchell.
I think I might have gone Jacoby over BTJ just purely for my hatred of BTJ. Not even playing.
I'm Jacoby over BTJ rest of season, that's for sure.
Justin Jefferson sneaky start calling it. I hope you're right, Frizzle.
I probably took BTJ over Tet. I probably took him over DK Metcalf, but he didn't. How did this team do so good? Oh, I guess they had Bijan and Vidal. It's interesting seeing like how different these teams at the top are, right? Dang, this guy took down 8th and 9th. Good for him.
I think I'm in a meaningless game this week. I think even if I win, I'll still come in 3rd. But I still want to get freaky with my lineup to maximize my upside. And I'm really thinking about benching JJ for like Loki Devon Bailey, bro. I just saw Chris Olave still dealing with a back injury. Like, I know that's like insano, but Justin Jefferson right now on Flea Flicker is only projected like 13 points.
Sounds about right.
Against the Commanders, man. And the Commanders aren't even trying to win games. We just saw Dan Quinn, like he's either a win or lose type guy, right?
What does that mean?
In overtime, when they got that touchdown and they went for 2, that was literally him being like, winning. Tying does our team no favors. We either win or we lose. Like, what does tying get you? It just gets you a worse draft pick.
Yeah, I think most teams go for that though in that scenario. Like, who's
Atlanta,
playing the tie?
You would think. I'm a 49ers fan. I just moved my signed football with Patrick Willis, Navarro Bowman to the side, but I'm a big Niners fan.
I will say, Frizzle, the Commanders have been playing a lot more zone since Dan Quinn took over. That's something to keep in mind. Or since Dan Quinn took over play calling. Yash, can you see which week exactly Dan Quinn took over play calling?
Yeah, I'll look it up.
Let's look at this. Because on the season, Washington ranks about average to... Oh, wait, sorry. Looking at the wrong.
Week 11, according to Google Gemini overview.
Okay, so let's look at the last 3 weeks and how they're ranking on terms of fantasy points given up. See, a lot improved versus wide receivers, and this kind of fits with what the eye test has told me, that they're playing a lot more zone. A lot better of a matchup for running backs. And it's not like they're playing slouches at wide receiver, too. They played Amon-Ra and J-Mo. They played Jalen Waddle. And then last week they played Courtland Sutton. We did see a good game for Sutton. I'm not saying Jefferson can't have a solid day, but just not the matchup isn't as good as it looks on paper. The Commanders have been a little better with the switch to zone. I do think. What are your thoughts on Jordan Mason this week if Aaron Jones doesn't play? It just seems like is likely.
Could be interesting. Could be worth a start. What are you going to get from that start? Probably not more than 16 points. I'll put it that way. I just think it's going to be like a running back, like mid-end running back 3 performance from him. Even when he was healthy and the only running back, he didn't really give you like too much to love. So I think it's fine, especially if he's on waivers and you're dealing with a lot of bye weeks like me. I think he could be worth a start.
Yeah. I think he's interesting. I just don't know how many pieces of that offense I really want to be talking about right now. Yeah, Frizzle, but that's mostly a man coverage. Zone's a little different with cornerback matchups.
Is Demon Time 9 going to play, bro? Or we get the Max Brosmer experience again, a.k.a.
Dude,
Will Levis incarnated.
Bad. Give me a defense, Josh, while we're still waiting for this underdog draft. Let's look at how some defenses are doing against the positions. Or give me a player. Patriots. Okay. Let's see how the Patriots defense is faring.
Do Patriots and Bucks. I think Bucks are
the Patriots are on bye week this week, so give me, let's see the Bucks.
They're like defense 8 right now.
So the Bucks are just ranking pretty bad all year. To all positions.
Their defense 8 in fantasy points right now, which is kind of crazy to me.
Nothing really switches between home and away games. Let's look at like the last 5, see if it's been trending up. Nope. This reigns true to what I've been seeing. This is just a big pass funnel right now. I know running backs have been getting there too, but I think you really feel good about your wide receivers going against the Bucks. This is why I love Chris Olave this week.
I'm going to look at teams that are on waivers right now. Baltimore defense. Jeez, Titans defense was rostered 200,000 times this week on Yahoo.
It's because they're playing the Browns, right?
Even then, man, I don't even know if I like that as a streamer.
Oh, I remember looking at this data when I was preparing for Thanksgiving, but look at these splits with the Ravens, right? So on the year, they look like they're a pretty good matchup you want to target, right? Besides tight ends, maybe. Look how much it changes when you go to at home. Giving up so many points to running back and wide receivers, but look how much better it gets when you go to the last 5 games. They've been doing
back.
Yep, they've been doing a lot better against running backs, a lot better against tight ends, a lot better against quarterbacks too.
What's their schedule?
I think we could still target wide receivers against the Ravens, just because they play a lot of man coverage too, and we know their pass rush isn't very good. So I think wide receivers we're still seeing get there, but because this is a good linebacking room, this is a good defensive line as far as run stopping goes, just not for pass rushing. They're good against running backs. They have good safeties, so they're good against tight ends.
Let's change this lens. All right, okay. Let's change the lens that we're looking at.
Our draft did just fill, by the way.
But let's go over these in terms of playoffs, right? Because defense wins championships. We all know about my experience with the Rams defense dropping 30 on me in playoffs. And we all just saw the Seahawks drop 40 this week. We saw another defense drop 40 this year too. I think it might have
Josh Allen just went 101, by the way.
He's getting unique. That's all that is. But I mean, clearly it's not working for him. He has no badge.
4 no badge or 3 no badgers in here with me.
But
so you're talking about like fantasy defenses. I was talking about like
I mean, I was doing that mostly
matchups.
For like real life too, but I mean, I just saw who the Ravens are playing and it was just like interesting to me cuz I look at a team like them, they're playing Pittsburgh, and then for the playoffs, it's going to be Bengals, New England, and Green Bay.
Tough.
Yeah. So, although I think they're a great defense in real life, all their players just came back. Am I starting them in fantasy? No. Jacksonville, currently position rank 5. What's their playoff schedule look like? Jets, Denver, Indianapolis. I don't hate that. Right now, Yahoo's saying Denver and Indy are horrible matchups. I don't know, guys.
Denver definitely is. For defenses? Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. I thought you were talking about
it's who they're playing against.
Yeah, my bad. I was thinking like
it's like offenses I want to target as a defense. Such a weird lens. This is how you guys know we're deep into the season. I'm analyzing defensive matchups and offenses that we think turn over the ball a lot. Commanders defense. Let's start there. We were just talking about Dan Quinn. Probably wouldn't pick him up though. You got Vikings this week. Cool. Giants next week. All right. Philly, Dallas. No. Not starting now. I almost want to pick up Jacksonville. Who's my defense in this league? Tampa Bay defense. That's funny how that works out. I don't know, guys. I might just drop the Buccaneers defense for Jacksonville. Low key on the low.
Not a bad decision. Tampa Bay is not the best defense as of right now.
We'll keep them for this week, though. This is a must-win week for me.
Hey, Frizzle's telling you Saints defense, bro.
Frizzle, I'm a delusional person when it comes to the Saints. I'm borderline like Niners fan first, Saints fan in the closet, right? But
you don't have to tell Yosh twice, Frizzle. He'll get behind that thought. See, I still don't know why Chase Brown is so cheap, but like I think I like him more than any 3 of these running backs. Right? Like, yeah.
I don't know about that one. I think people are also playing it by matchup a lot right here, like Baltimore versus Pittsburgh. They just saw James Cook run the same play like 8 times in a row, and it worked, you know?
Maybe I should. No, I'm going to go Chase Brown.
I just saw an interesting stat about the Steelers is I think they have one of the worst defenses. The defense has been on the field the most out of any other team, and their offense has been on the field the least out of any other team. So, this is something to look at.
This is interesting. I'm just pulling up the Saints defensive fantasy points given up. On the road, they rank 28th worst in running back points given up. So they're struggling to stop the run on the road, are the Saints. On the season, though, pretty average.
Hey, we're just hyping up that Chiefs defense, but they look about the same to me right now. The Saints Chiefs defense look like they rank about the same.
Not at all, because the Chiefs, dude, look at the Chiefs at home. The Chiefs are like top 5 everything at home.
Yeah, but what about in general, on average? They're always home.
But they're home this week, and that's what we care about.
This guy.
We were talking about this week. That was the whole reason I was hyping them up.
But like, oh my God, you're in the same as this guy, or is that a different long name guy?
It's a different long name guy.
That'd be funny.
All right, what are we thinking here? Drake London, like, or are we worried that he's not going to play? Him not practicing is worrisome. Do we go T. Higgins?
Against the Bills. I mean, you like your T. Higgins, but you know how I feel.
But we don't
him.
know if T's gonna play. T did practice today. He was limited in practice. Or how about this? Let's go Joe. Yeah, let's go Joe. See if we can get T to come back to us. If not, we have him stacked with a running back, which is fine. Chase Brown catches passes. Maybe he takes a screen to the crib this week.
Either way, bro. It's not like you need to stack Joe Burrow with Jamar Chase every time you know he's good for it.
I like Jacoby this week. Christian Watson's always viable. Michael Wilson, interesting, especially if Marv is going to miss. I don't know if I like taking him with Trey McBride. Alec Pierce against Jacksonville is very interesting to me. I actually kind of like Alec Pierce a lot in this spot. That will probably... A.D. Mitchell's kind of interesting too.
Ooh, player takes.
Do we buy low on Justin Jefferson?
No.
Nah. Let's get freaky. Let's go Jacoby, and then we're gonna go Alec Pierce.
Actual disgust in my mouth when you asked that.
This will be a
Justin Jefferson's dropping 30 just because I'm this low on him now. I've been low on him all season, but now that I'm really low on him, 9's gonna show up.
This will be a fun little interesting build. Burrow, A-Chain, Chase Brown, Jacoby, Alec Pierce, Trey McBride. Guarantee you I'll be the only team with that combination of players in this contest.
Do we think that J.J. McCarthy seeing Max Brosmer play that horribly boosts his confidence? And he plays so much better football. I feel like the narrative that I at least put on him is like, yo, how do you play bad football with J.J., Jay Addison, and T.J. Hawk and a decent O-line? It could always be worse, I guess, man, but...
Grass ain't always greener.
Grass ain't always greener. Do we think Pat Bryant's going to be fantasy relevant heading into the playoffs?
He's an interesting name. He's been playing a lot better, been trending up, yeah.
Marv and Troy.
Interesting situation
Post-bye-week bump too
to monitor, in my opinion.
Like, that's the change they made after the bye week. They said, you know what, let's limit Troy Franklin. I mean, he's got good chemistry, but he's kind of a bum. And let's put Pat Bryant out there.
What a crazy fall from grace that Justin Jefferson is going in the 6th round. Might even go undrafted. I'm not taking him. What a crazy world that I'm going to take Alec Pierce over Justin Jefferson.
Chat, clip that. Clip that for when Justin Jefferson drops like 50 this week.
Justin Jefferson's going to be grittying on me in the end zone, dude.
I'd love it, dude. If I beat Brian this week, I'd actually like...
Give me Alec Pierce, Joe Burrow, Devon A-Chain, Chase Brown, Jacoby Myers, Alec Pierce, Trey McBride.
I have to make my team.
I think that is going to wrap it up for us today. We'll be back tomorrow talking some Thursday night football. We got a fun game with the Cowboys Lions. So we'll hop on again, talk that game, talk some of our best bets, and we'll do some more Week 14 overall talk. That's going to wrap it up for us. Yash, you got anything before we hop out?
18 minutes ago, Dan Quinn asked about Jaden Daniels playing. Says Daniels will get a lot of reps in practice this week, but they're going to take it all the way through Friday to determine if he plays.
Okay. Interesting.
So he might suit up Week 14. I would love him as a sneaky playoff guy, especially if you're rolling with, I don't know, like Sammy D or like Brock Purdy right now. I'd like him as a little stashy stash, especially with Terry McLaurin coming back and playing like a dog. Cash me, bro. Ugh.
He looked good, bro. Yeah, that was awesome. All right, y'all. We're going to hop out. We'll be back tomorrow. Make sure to drop a like, drop a sub, join the Cord. We'll see y'all next time. Peace.